Just imagine it, engine screaming at over 130 decibels, 8,000 horsepower, hurling a couple of dragsters down here at over 300 miles an hour. Just imagine it, because we ain't going to see it today.
It's very disappointing.
Yeah.
Wanted to see some cars.
Unfortunately, there is one natural enemy in drag racing, and it's rain.
But the Santa Pod Raceway is not always like this.
When you hit the throttle, there's no question, no doubt, you're going straight forward in a hurry.
5 Gs when you leave the starting line.
It accelerates harder than the space shuttle does.
And then when you pull the parachutes at the other end, it's -7 Gs.
And with 8,000 horsepower, the earth will actually move under your feet when a top fuel dragster goes by.
Born in the USA but now growing up across the Atlantic, drag racing is coming of age in Europe.
This type of event would have 30 or 35,000 people appear over 4 days.
The main draw for those fans, the top fuel class, 25-foot wheeled bullets powered by nitromethane, a volatile and somewhat destructive propellant.
We run the car, and every quarter of a mile we have to rebuild the whole engine.
The life expectancy of a top fuel motor on full throttle is about 8 seconds.
So what, everything just disintegrates because of the pressure, or
Precisely.
like metal and just melts, or?
Absolutely.
This year's 16 top fuel cars will contest a European Championship that has tracks in Scandinavia, Germany and England. Covers 5 rounds.
But that is going to change. I would say to you that in 3 to 4 years' time that will be 8 to 10 rounds.
The ultimate goal for the European Championship is to mirror the pinnacle of the sport, the National Hot Rod Association Series in the USA.
The corporate sponsorships are there. There's 22 races a year on a tour every year.
Now, cars with a fuel economy of about 300 feet per gallon, similar to a jumbo jet, with engines that fall to bits after 1,300 feet, are never going to be cheap to run.
Costs about £8,500 every time the car goes a quarter of a mile.
Even those that are doing okay are underfunded. No question, all underfunded.
One serious drawback from that lack of funds, a shortage of testing opportunities.
We make 200 or 300 runs a year at home in the States. These guys be lucky to make 30, 40 runs a year.
Despite that disparity, at 317 miles per hour, the European speed record is just 10 miles per hour short of the USA's. And organisers here believe new tracks are the key to closing that gap further.
We are now involved with 3 other tracks that we're either purchasing outright, building or working with.
But whatever track you're on, is there really any skill in driving 440 yards in a straight line?
I mean, everybody thinks you go a straight line, don't do anything, hit throttle and hold on. But there's a lot of feel for the car. It never wants to go straight.
You might make 10 or 12 corrections on the steering wheel on the way down. You might pull the brake lever to slow the rear tyres down. You might come on and off the throttle twice.
So I drive by the seat of my pants, by the feel. I'm driving by my eyes to see where I'm going. I'm driving by my ears to hear the engine and know what it's supposed to sound like.
Whichever part of your body you're driving with, if things go wrong, your entire anatomy will very rapidly find itself at risk of serious damage.
If you have an accident or something go wrong, you've got to react within a microsecond. Otherwise you're in the wall, and then you're upside down, then you're on fire, then you're in big trouble.
His legs are strapped in, his arms are tied down. He couldn't get out if he wanted to.
Right. So his arms are literally strapped into the
His
into the
arms
frame.
are strapped to his waist.
Right.
So his arms can't fly out or anything in the event of an accident or whatever.
In the last 3 years, 3 drivers have been killed in NHRA events in the USA, and at this weekend's event at Santa Pod, it was a graphic example of why the line between driver and toasted marshmallow can be a very fine one. Are you frightened? Are you?
No, I'm never afraid.
Yeah.
But of course, you gotta be you gotta be nervous. If not, will be able to be focused.
As a father, though, you must go, oh.
Every time. A little bit scary.
I've never had fear. I figure if I have fear, I shouldn't be in it.
Of course, it's not just the drivers taking risks on a day like this. It's easy to see why being a motorsport promoter can be a tenuous occupation. Yet the Santa Pod Raceway is a moneymaker.
It's now a profitable company that actually turns a profit every single year, which not many companies in motorsport do.
Behind that profit, what can only be described as a serious drag addiction.
When I put my foot to the pedal, my head goes back so far, and then you have to go up, and then you have to look back down. It's amazing.
It's just bam,
Yeah.
intense, 5-6 seconds and she's all over.
Yeah.
And then go and wait again.
Yeah.
To go faster and faster and faster. It can be a very addicting thing.
And that addiction affects even the sport's hardest-headed businessmen.
My heart doesn't rule my head rules my heart. It's got to make a profit at the end of the year. If it dries today, I will run this race. Nobody's on the bank, nobody's come into the stadium. I have got a disease. I will stand there with 20 people and run that first round.
But if he has a disease, he's certainly not alone. And next time, his fellow addicts will be back for another hit of the sound, the fury, the top fuel.
It's the way it goes through your body. It's a physical, total experience.
Gives you that internal shake you've been after.
Loud, noisy, ground shakes, wicked.